Easy English is here to help you speak English faster, smoother, and more confidently. And one of the best tools we recommend is shadowing. Shadowing is a powerful technique where you listen to native English and repeat it immediately, matching the speaker's tone, rhythm, and emotion. It may sound simple, but it builds your fluency in an incredible way. The more you shadow, the more automatic your English becomes. You stop overthinking grammar and vocabulary, and you start speaking naturally. Your mouth and brain begin to work together, producing English without hesitation. At Easy English, we believe that fluency isn't about memorizing long word lists or studying endless grammar rules. It's about training your ear, your voice, and your mind through real, active practice. Shadowing does exactly that. It transforms English from something you study into something you live. With daily shadowing practice, your English becomes faster, clearer, and more natural, just like a native speaker. Shadowing is one of the fastest ways to improve English fluency because it helps you internalize the rhythm, melody, and natural structure of the language. When you shadow, you listen to a native speaker and repeat what they say almost at the same time. This technique trains your brain to process English quickly and helps your mouth and tongue get used to forming English sounds. At first, it may feel difficult or awkward, but the more you practice, the smoother it becomes. Choose content that interests you, a podcast, a YouTube video, or a movie clip. Play it, listen carefully, and start mimicking the speaker. Don't worry about understanding every word. Focus on sound and rhythm. Later, you can work on meaning. Over time, your pronunciation improves, your confidence grows, and your ability to think in English becomes stronger. Shadowing combines listening, speaking, and thinking, all at the same time, which makes it incredibly powerful. To get the best results from shadowing, consistency is more important than intensity. Practicing for just 10 to 15 minutes every day will give you better long-term fluency than doing it once a week for an hour. Make shadowing part of your daily routine, like brushing your teeth. Attach it to a habit you already have. For example, shadow while you walk, cook, or clean. Repetition is the secret weapon here. When you repeat the same audio every day for a week, you start to notice patterns. You catch how natives link words, where they pause, how their voice rises and falls. Your brain starts to imitate this naturally. Over time, your English starts to sound less like something you studied and more like something you live. Shadowing every day keeps your speaking muscles active and your mind tuned to English. It's not about perfection. It's about daily contact, small progress, and keeping the flow alive. A great way to begin shadowing is by choosing content that matches your current level of English. If you are a beginner or lower intermediate learner, don't pick complicated academic lectures or fast TV shows. Instead, find slow, clear, and natural conversations. Maybe children's stories, learner-friendly podcasts, or slow English YouTube channels. This helps you hear the words clearly and reduces frustration. Once you build some confidence and your listening improves, you can challenge yourself with faster content like TED Talks or interviews. The key is to push yourself a little, but not so much that you feel overwhelmed. Shadowing should feel like climbing stairs, not a mountain. As your ears adjust, your speaking becomes smoother and more automatic. And don't forget to review the same clips many times. Fluency doesn't come from hearing something once. It comes from listening again and again until the words become part of your natural speech. Recording yourself while shadowing is one of the most effective ways to boost your fluency. When you record your voice and compare it to the native speaker, you notice things you didn't hear during live practice. Maybe your intonation is flat, or you're skipping a sound, or your speed is too slow. These small things matter in real conversations. When you listen to your own shadowing recordings, you start catching the tiny mistakes that slow down your fluency. It's like holding a mirror to your English. You begin adjusting your tone, rhythm, and pronunciation without a teacher. This self-feedback builds your awareness and confidence. Over time, you will notice that your English sounds more fluid, natural, and expressive. Also, keeping these recordings gives you proof of your progress. You can listen to earlier recordings and see how far you've come. That feeling motivates you to keep going. If you're shadowing but still translating in your head, you're not getting the full benefit. One powerful trick is to think in images, not words. Instead of translating, I'm going to the store into your native language, picture yourself walking into a store. When you shadow a sentence, close your eyes and create a mental movie of what's happening. This forces your brain to connect English directly with experience, not translation. Thinking in pictures trains you to respond faster, like native speakers do. It also helps you remember phrases better, because our brains are wired to remember visuals. The more you connect English with real-life situations and emotions, the faster it becomes natural. This technique also makes shadowing more fun and less mechanical. It's not just about copying words, it's about living the language in your mind. Every time you imagine what you're saying, you're building fluency at a deeper level. To make your shadowing sessions more effective, try breaking the content into short chunks. Don't attempt to repeat full paragraphs or long sentences at once. Instead, pause after every few words and repeat them. For example, if the speaker says, I really like going to the beach on weekends, pause after I really like, then going to the beach, then on weekends. This step-by-step method gives your brain time to absorb the structure and your mouth time to pronounce each phrase correctly. Once you're comfortable with the chunks, try shadowing the entire sentence without stopping. This layered approach helps you build fluency without feeling lost. It also improves your memory and helps you internalize common sentence patterns. Over time, these patterns become automatic. You won't have to think about grammar rules while speaking. They will already be inside you because you've practiced them naturally through shadowing. Using subtitles while shadowing can be helpful, but only if you use them wisely. In the beginning, it's okay to use subtitles to understand the content. However, if you depend on them too much, you'll focus on reading instead of listening. To avoid this, follow a three-step process. First, watch with subtitles and shadow the speaker to get familiar with the language. Second, watch again without subtitles and try shadowing from pure listening. Finally, test yourself by shadowing without watching the screen at all. Just audio. This trains your ears and builds your speaking muscles. Using subtitles as a learning tool, not a crutch, helps you move from passive learning to active speaking. Over time, your brain adapts to hearing English directly, and your fluency improves because you're not stuck translating or reading. You're responding to real sound, just like in real conversations. Choosing the right speaker to shadow makes a big difference. Every native speaker has a unique accent, rhythm, and way of expressing themselves. When starting out, pick a speaker whose voice is clear, whose accent is easy to understand, and whose tone you enjoy. For example, some learners prefer American accents, others British, Australian, or even specific regional tones. Choose someone whose English you want to sound like. Shadowing them regularly helps you naturally adopt their way of speaking. If you switch speakers too often, your brain can get confused by too many styles. So stick with one speaker for a while before trying others. This consistency helps you build a strong language base. Later, you can challenge yourself with new voices to become more flexible. But at the start, focusing on one voice sharpens your pronunciation, intonation, and fluency faster than jumping around. Use emotional content to supercharge your shadowing practice. When you shadow a speaker who is angry, happy, sad, or excited, try to copy not just their words, but also their feelings. Language is more than just grammar and vocabulary. It's rhythm, emotion, and expression. When you mimic a speaker's emotional tone, your voice becomes more dynamic and natural. This also helps you connect to the language on a deeper level. Fluency isn't just about saying words correctly. It's about sounding alive and real when you speak. Shadowing emotional content helps you develop that expressiveness. Try shadowing movie scenes, passionate TED Talks, or emotional interviews. Feel what the speaker feels. Over time, your own English will become more colorful, expressive, and believable. You'll stop sounding robotic or flat. You'll sound human. That's the real power of fluency. Not just words, but words with feeling. To keep your shadowing fresh and exciting, vary the type of content you use. If you always shadow the same kind of videos, you might get bored or plateau in your progress. Try mixing it up. Use a funny YouTube skit one day, a news report the next, a podcast after that, and a movie scene on the weekend. Each type of content teaches you something different. Comedy helps with timing and wordplay. News helps with formal tone and vocabulary. Podcasts improve your conversational fluency. Movies help you with emotion and storytelling. This variety keeps your brain engaged and trains you to handle different English situations. In the real world, you'll talk to people in many contexts, not just textbook conversations. By shadowing different content types, you become flexible, quick thinking, and adaptable in English. This variety keeps learning interesting and builds real life fluency. So at Easy English, we want you to stop learning English the hard way and start using shadowing to unlock your true fluency. Make it part of your daily routine. Choose content you love. Repeat it again and again. Feel the rhythm, copy the tone, and speak with confidence. The more you shadow, the less you hesitate. You'll think less and speak more. You'll sound natural, not robotic. Whether you're at home, on a walk, or riding the bus, shadowing can go with you anywhere. It doesn't need a classroom, a teacher, or a textbook. Just your voice and your commitment. Keep going, even when it feels hard, because every minute you shadow brings you one step closer to the fluent, confident speaker you want to be. This is the Easy English way, practical, powerful, and proven. So start today, stay consistent, and soon English won't just be something you study, it'll be something you live.